Now let's Google this movie, Guns Akimbo. And wow, yeah, I like this quite a bit actually. This one was better than I thought it was gonna be. The last movie, Ghostbusters Afterlife, was worse than I thought it was gonna be. But no, this is actually quite good. Action comedy. We're gonna go to the IMDb page. 6.3 out of 10 it gets on IMDb, and the Ghostbusters had 7.1, so I don't agree with that. I think this movie's better than Ghostbusters Afterlife, but I think people just sort of they're softer to it because of the nostalgia, right? They see all the nostalgic shit and they're like, oh, this movie's good because it's showing me the thing I liked, but I don't know. I didn't like that. It felt too much like pandering to me, but this Guns Akimbo, it's an original concept. And it was actually quite funny. That's another New Zealand film. There's a movie I reviewed last week, Deathgasm, also from New Zealand. Murray from Flight of the Conchords, Riz Darby is in it as a homeless guy for a funny scene. So yeah, let me break it down. The basic plot of Guns Akimbo. So it starts off, Daniel Radcliffe, Harry Potter, our boy. He was working at a video game company, but he's coding. He doesn't really like it. It's sort of not really what he wants to do in the terms of it's a game that he doesn't really care about. It's a project he doesn't really care about. It's just sort of what he's doing for money, but he is working there and he's, trying to get a girl, of course, but there's also... He is a troll. He is an internet troll. So he is writing things online. And I should say this is a pretty important part of the movie because it all revolves around it. There is this streaming type platform called Schism that streams specifically one thing, these very violent, to the death competitions. So it'll be people killing each other, being streamed live, and the cops are trying to stop it. But they can't seem to do it, and I'm not gonna ruin that plot point. But there's something at the end that crazy that happens with that, as well as Schism is this, like I said, underground sort of streaming fighting ring where people kill each other on camera. And Daniel Radcliffe goes on because he's an internet troll, as I said, and he's trolling, he's saying stupid things on the internet like you're a cunt or whatever, and the people at Schism get angry, they find his IP address, and they find him, and they knock him out with anesthesia, and then anesthetic is what I think I'm trying to say, and they bolt guns to his hands and make him go into these games and make him fight to the death is the idea of the game anyway. And it's, I don't know, I think it's a cool idea. It's done pretty well. It's funny. Some of the action is a little bit too fast and quick for me, hard to pay attention. The cuts are a little fast for parts. Similar problem note to that other New Zealand movie, Deathgasm. I like that movie too, but the cuts were a little quick for me. This too, some of it's good, but every once in a while it's a little jarring for the fight scenes or whatever. But this was pretty funny. I did like this movie quite a lot. It's an original idea, and that's rare to see. Daniel Radcliffe, he's picking those movies, he's picking those strange movies that get the image of him as far away from Harry Potter as he can. I think that's the plan, and I think it's sort of working. Now his next movie is the Weird Al biopic, and I'm really interested to see that. So that looks good too. But this movie was fun. So basically he's just trying to fight this woman. Nix is what he's supposed to do anyway. But obviously he wants to get back at Schism and stop the games and just, not die, basically. So he's trying to save himself, but then there's the plot line of Nix, who's the person he's supposed to kill, her family died in a fire, and there's a part where there's an explosion, and we find out, oh, she doesn't like fire. Okay, this is another thing that's kind of dumb to me, because I know Daniel Radcliffe's character is not a killer. He's just sort of a internet gamer guy who got sort of thrown into this. But he knows that he's got to kill her. He's got guns attached to his hands. He knows how to use them. He's been shooting them. But there's a point where he could definitely have killed her. But maybe he did it, he felt like it was too easy or something. But he should have taken any chance he got. I think he should. I think it was, to me, he should have shot her there. But he could have maybe missed or something. And that could have woken her up, because she's sort of in a daze and just looking at the fire because she's in shock, remembering the traumatic past of her family dying in a car on fire. But yeah, no, that part, little bit, made me a little mad, because I was like, come on, you could have at least shot at her there, but no. And he just runs away, and yeah, I think that's silly. But yeah, there's that funny part I was talking about with Murray from Flight of the Conchords. If you don't know the show Flight of the Conchords, it's very funny. One of my favorite shows of all time. Riz Darby, he plays the manager in that show, but he plays a homeless guy smoking crack and stuff. But there's a funny bit where Daniel Radcliffe's putting a gun in his mouth, and he's pointing it like up towards the roof of his mouth, and Murray's like, don't do that, you're doing it wrong. You gotta put the barrel closer to the back of your throat. If you shoot or point it up to your brain, if you shoot like that, you'll just fuck your mouth up, and then you'll just have a fucked up mouth. And he's like, I'm just trying to be helpful. I don't know, that seems funny. I like his character. But yeah, no, this movie was good, like quite good actually. Honestly, the only notes I have is what I said, basically just a little bit too fast to cut sometimes, and so that particularly that one scene, I was like, come on, he would have tried to shoot at her. But other than that, it's funny, fast-paced action. There's one line that I have to mention, because it made me laugh really hard. It's so stupid, but it's funny. The love interest is captured by these schism guys, these evil psychopaths or whatever, and she's like, don't you know the cops are onto you? The cops are gonna get you. And he's like, oh, I'm so scared. I'm going to poo-poo in my pantaloons. And just, maybe I'm not doing it justice, but it was very funny, the way he delivered that line. And it's a stupid line, but yeah, the acting is good in this movie. There's another character, Daniel Radcliffe's sort of friend at the video game coding place or whatever, the video game company. He's his friend, and there's a part where Nix is like in the office shooting them up, and he's trying to distract her from shooting Daniel Radcliffe, so he shoots a Nerf gun at her. And it's kind of funny, because then they go back to these sort of Twitch like commentators, and they're like, my new favorite guy's the Nerf guy, like what the fuck. And I don't know, this movie's good. It's something different. I can't think of anything else like this. It was a good original script, and it was actually funny. So generally pretty good movie. I would recommend this. Countries of origin: New Zealand, Germany, United Kingdom. Seems legit. Box office. Oh, it did not do well. It was a $15 million budget. It only grossed $1,000, apparently. That's not good. But maybe it made more money through streaming later and stuff. I don't know. But that's not good. But I like this movie. I would recommend it. It is on Amazon Prime, as is Ghostbusters Afterlife if you want to watch that. But I would definitely recommend this over that. If you want something fun, original, action-packed, and funny, check this out. I quite liked it. But you know what? I am running out of stuff to say. So I think we'll end it, and then we'll go check out the Sauce and see what he's doing. We'll maybe freestyle with him for the end there. But yeah, I'm gonna put on a beat. This is from Turn Up Music SK. let's play some Bob Dabalina.
Hey, Rob, shut the fuck up!
I'm trying to think, what should I rate it? Well, you know what? It's super good. But it wasn't perfect, you know, like I said. I have some nitpicks. Like, it's a little too fast editing sometimes. The cuts were a little quick for some of the fight scenes for me. But it was really funny. It was really good. In general, a good original idea. And that one part where he should have shot her at least once, in my opinion. But I'm gonna give it 8.9 out of 10 dogs, which is a very good rating for me. Guns Akimbo with Daniel Radcliffe, 8.9 out of 10 dogs. I quite liked it. I'd say check it out. I don't know what else to say. Guns Akimbo. End of the review. 8.9 out of 10 dogs.